an optimal health program. And we take the program in phases, okay? So think about it like that. The first phase of the program is the weight loss phase, okay? And we do it this way because we need to be able to get the weight off us as quickly, but yet safely and effectively as we can. For two main reasons. One is because how many of you really want to go on a program and lose 1/8 of a pound a week? If you want, go to Weight Watchers. They'll be happy to help you with that. I love Weight Watchers. I'm really not putting anything else down. But I know a lot of people in this room have done that, right? And it's like, and then the little lady looks at you and goes, "You're cheating. What did you have?" So anyway, we want you to be excited and motivated, right? And so as you can see, we have people in the room already that, oh my God, amazing amounts of weight in 1 week, okay? Obviously, you're motivated. You're motivated to stay on and go. So we want you to feel really good and to know that, wow, I'm on an optimal health program and this is working. I'm doing something that's working and I feel good, okay? And number two, because it's so important to begin to get the weight down so that we can reduce the risk factors that are associated with that excess weight, okay? Obesity right now is rampant. I don't want to go into that whole thing. We know that, right? 65% of all adults right now are considered to be overweight. Baylor University did a study and said if something major is not done to stem this tide, that we're going, like 90% of everyone will be in overweight by like 2020 or something crazy like that, okay? Type 2 diabetes is out of control. And you know that now when we have young children having type 2 diabetes, this is a serious issue. So we know that we've got a problem, okay? And we've got to get the weight off. I have been absolutely blown away by the amount of medication that our patients have been able to get off of quickly, just by beginning to get on this program and reduce weight. 10 pounds has made an amazing difference in weight. You know, we say that, I've read all these studies, just losing 10% of your weight can have huge effects on health, but I'm here to tell you that we are seeing this. We're seeing this in reductions in medication. So anyway, we want to get it off safely and quickly, and that's what this phase does. So how do we do it? Well, the weight loss phase program that we put the majority of people on is what we call the 5 and 1. And here's how it works. In order to allow you to eat these 6 small balanced meals a day, we use these tools, and that's exactly what I call them. The tools are these beautifully, medically formulated, portion-controlled meals that have been formulated through a company called Medifast. So Medifast is actually the parent company of Take Shape for Life. And Medifast has been in business for about 28 years. It's not a new company. It's considered to be the gold standard in nutritional intervention. For the first 20 years of Medifast's life, you could only get a very limited product line, but the product directly through a physician's office. Okay? So physicians would agree to take a training program through Medifast, and they would have to actually inventory the product. And way back when, the product was mostly shakes and they probably had a soup or two. People never ate real food. It was really designed for people who were morbidly obese, who really didn't have much choice, particularly before we had any bariatric surgery. But here's the bottom line. The bottom line is the program darn well worked. It was really successful, okay? Now, that program is not the same program. So if you know people who have been on it, or if you had been on it in the past, please know it's not the same program. But the fact of the matter is that over 20 years of having this program available, the doctors and the scientists who had worked with the program continuously did studies, okay, and continuously fine-tuned the formulation of the product. And what they have found over 28 years now of research is that by putting together a product line that has very close to a 1-to-1 ratio between your grams of protein and your grams of what we call low glycemic carbohydrates, that seems to be the very best prescription for weight loss, okay? So every one of our products in the line has almost the same, what we call nutritional footprint. Okay, in other words, they all have very close to a 1-to-1 ratio. But not only that, they've also managed to get in between 3 and 5 grams of fiber. All the products have 24 vitamins and minerals. They all taste great. They're simple, simple, simple and easy to use. You either add hot or cold water. How easy is that? You don't need milk, you don't need a microwave, okay? They come in packets. They have no preservatives in them. So if any of you are a little concerned about adding preservatives to your diet or you're sensitive, chemically sensitive, they do not have it. It actually uses a process that was developed at NASA where they're able to maintain the integrity of all the nutrients by just taking the water out. So essentially that's what we're doing when we hydrate the product. And they're very portion controlled, right? So all you do in the 5-in-1 is first thing in the morning, within about an hour, hour and a half of getting up in the morning, we ask you to have your first product, okay? So we do want you to eat breakfast. That's the very first thing we know we gotta do. So you open it up. Now, the product line, we have 70 different products, okay? This is not a liquid diet. Sometimes people think right away, oh, it's just shakes. It's not. So we have 4 different flavors of oatmeal, and we have 8 soups, and we have, I don't even know how many flavors of shakes, and tons of bars, and scrambled eggs, and pudding. So we have a very full line. So let's just say, for example, say you get up in the morning and you have your first product, okay? So let's just say it's an oatmeal. And then between 2 and 3 hours after you have that, you want to check your watch because the timing is important. We want you to have another product, okay? So maybe then you have your shake. And then 2 to 3 hours after that, you have something else. So as you can see, what we want you to do is eat every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. So in total, we want you to have at least 5 of these meal replacements through MetaFast. And at one of those 2 to 3 hour intervals, we're going to have you eat a regular meal, one that you are required to prepare or to go out for, okay? Now that meal we call the lean and green because it will consist of your lean protein and your green vegetables, okay? Again, trying to keep it simple, simple, simple. And the lean protein, what do we mean by that? Well, it's also kind of specific, and we give you that in the manuals that you get. But lean meaning you can have your fish. So let's say if you have a very lean fish like a tilapia or a cod or flounder or something like that, shrimp is considered very lean, you're going to have 7 ounces. That's a nice portion, okay? If you're having something not quite as lean, maybe a chicken breast, we know we're so, gosh, how much chicken do we eat, right? A lot of chicken. You're going to have about 6 ounces of chicken, but you can even have your beef every now and then. We recommend probably not more than twice a week, but you certainly can have that, and that would be 5 ounces. So anywhere from 5 to 7 ounces of your lean protein, and you're going to have 3 servings of your green vegetables. And you do get a good fat portion as well, whether it be some olive oil or some guacamole, some of your good fats. So, recapping the 5-in-1. In total, you're going to eat every 2 to 3 hours. You're going to have 5 of the meal replacements and 1 regular meal that you prepare. We want you to drink a lot of non-calorie fluid, preferably water. But the one question I always get is, can I have my coffee? I want my coffee first thing in the morning. Yes, you can have your coffee. We recommend no more than 3 cups, mainly because if you are not eating as much food and you tend to be a little sensitive to caffeine, you might find yourself a little more sensitive. So you just kind of have to watch that, especially the first few days. But yes, you can have your coffee with no sugar, obviously, and none of that non-dairy creamer, which is really just lots of chemicals. So instead, maybe you can have 1 to 2 tablespoons of a half and half and a non-nutritive sweetener if you need something like that. So those kinds of things are questions that I typically get. Now, on average, women will tend to lose between 2 to 5 pounds a week consistently. So as we went through the room, we heard some pretty amazing first week success stories, right? Thank you so much for sharing 10 pounds in the first week. I want you to understand that everybody's body is very different.